I am.
Hello.
That camera got shifted.
Welcome.
I can fix that. Hold on.
Hold on, we got technical difficulties.
Just stare at the pickle. I bumped the camera.
Ooh.
There.
We made sure to have whole pickles just for Yanni's enjoyment.
And Leo.
All of you guys.
Kaylin's crying.
So as per tradition on the Covens, we're gonna take a pickle back during our break.
I want a
Ashley's
caramel apple afterwards, and I don't know where to put it down.
So, thank you guys again for coming, and Kaylin for flying out all the way from Texas to play this game with us. And thanks again, chat, for hanging out. We hope you enjoyed the rest of this stream. We're going to keep going here for a little bit. And
To the coven.
yes,
To the
coven. Thank you, darling.
Wait.
Imaginary clink.
Yeah, clink.
Yep. And go.
I'm going to slowly go through mine, because mine's big. Oh, cool. Welcome back. Yeah, we all wake up now. Woo!
It's like I didn't just drink any whiskey when you chase it with this.
I know. Yeah, it's just the best.
It completely cuts it.
It's also like I didn't eat Tic Tacs before this, so.
Oh no.
This room just smells like pickles now.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's magical. Okay, so the next morning you all wake up and you start again your day anew and look for a breakfast stand, get some food in you, bagpipe again, find some questionable things.
Can we roll for trinkets?
We can, yes, because I got
sent you
your
the
PDF. So go ahead and you guys just occasionally as you're walking through, because it is con season. It's hard not to buy stuff, especially
What are
with
we
what
rolling?
we do. So we are rolling. You're rolling a D100.
Wait, what's that?
It's the percentage die and the D10. So these two. And this is going to be your 10s place, and that'll be the 1s.
Okay.
82.
82. And do you want... Okay, we've got a lot of different tables to choose from. Roll me a D8.
They get weirder
also.
the further down you go.
Great. I love it. Roll high, please.
7.
7. Great. Okay, so you got an 82
Yeah.
on 7.
82 on 7. 82 on 7.
82 on 7. You get a dung beetle the size of a pony that refuses to do anything but follow you and push a gigantic wad of dung.
I already have one of those named Cram.
Cram can
So I think this is going to be just to balance out the setting.
The size of a pony.
It's enchanted, so I'm going to say this is like one
okay.
of those figurine animals that you can serve Pokeball out when you want to.
Oh, good.
Wondrous figure.
Dung beetle wondrous
God.
figure, and it smells real like just drink. It's
Gwen, why?
Oh my god.
Cram is more than happy to hang on to it for you though, because he doesn't like the smell.
Cram, here. You can play with it for a
He's like,
while.
oh, like he just is like really like it's Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
That's
It's
amazing.
more for him than me.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna say this thing does not have any like stats though, just so this doesn't get crazy.
No, that's fine.
I
feel like it wouldn't really do
just
much.
Push dung around.
Yeah, it
That's
just pushes it with its
Where
dung
does it
beetle
find
face.
the dung?
It always has it.
Oh,
It
okay.
just has a giant wad of dung that it pushes around.
I love carrying around poop.
Ashes, go ahead, roll a d8.
I got 5.
You had 5, and what was your 100 number?
45.
45. 45 on 5.
Something good.
You get a single iron shackle that was once worn by a deaf musician.
What?
Okay.
Interesting.
That's so random.
They're so weird. They're just the best, though.
Just a shackle?
I like it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
By a deaf musician?
A deaf music. Well, yeah, like you got. We should know who the. We should both know who the deaf pianist was. That was like very prevalent in history, but I can't remember.
Beethoven?
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Beethoven.
Beethoven?
Oh, yeah, maybe it was a Beethoven.
I think it was Beethoven.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
yeah.
I don't know.
I remember, but anyway, yeah. It's. I assume the reason why Ashes probably picks this up is it's got like a very rich story attached to it.
Probably.
Lots of history of
Very
a place
old.
you've never been. Magpie, what was your D8?
5.
5. All right, what number?
12.
12 on 5. A bracelet braided from the ligaments of some large creature with a charm carved from a humanoid tooth.
Okay, Ashes is
so
supremely
perfect.
jealous of this.
I'm sure, and I'm sure Magpie's just thrilled.
You're like,
Let me see.
making a point to like reach into Ash's field of vision.
Oh, look, I need to grab this thing over here. And Jaldera, what'd you get?
List is 6.
Okay.
And then I got a 75.
75.
Can I also roll?
Yeah,
I
totally.
kind of wanna. It's goofy.
Yeah, you get a ring embedded with a topaz containing a soul of a clueless wizard.
Oh my
He
god.
has little to no insight into objects of intrigue.
I'm gonna try.
So he's
and
useless, basically, which is great.
But
He's
I'm gonna
just
try and
will
figure out
comment
how to
occasion-
get him free.
Of course. Chaldra's like, I will save you.
How do I help you?
Table 6.
Table 6.
Oh, I rolled the double zeros.
Oh,
It's
so
zero.
100.
Number 6.
Oh, 00 and 6. Okay,
Correct.
so yeah, you
So
got a
6.
6 then. You get a rusted coin that absorbs any oil it comes into contact with.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like that's sort of
Any
useful.
oil?
Any
To how
oil.
to how much though? Like can you like
an iron jackal. Can we just
Get
I'm
one
gonna
of oil?
say 20 feet worth. So like
Of oil?
of oil. Oh, we'll say 20 feet worth of oil.
Interesting. Okay.
Seems
Rusted
seems
coin.
ridiculous.
Absorbs 20 feet cubic? Or just like,
Yeah, well, no, 20. So
that's a lot of oil.
it'd be like a 3x3 square. Let's say that 3x3, like a 3x3.
Okay.
So it's more like 15, but
That's fine.
who's counting? Certainly not me.
I'm fine with that.
So I'm gonna have you all roll me a perception check. Also.
Please do well this time, Kaylin.
Keep in mind, if you guys would like to use your one table venture roll, not necessarily that this would be the
Well-
best time to do that.
Yeah!
I got another 6.
Hey!
I am on the lookout for danger, so I got an unnatural 20.
Nice.
And then Magpie
Well, you're
and
tall, so you can see over the
Gwendolyn.
crowd.
True.
8.
We're doing really great.
What is your perception?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You're distracted by
Someone's trying to find the stream. Perception is 8.
All right, so unnat 20. This unnat 20. Roll me a d6, please. 6. Nice. Very interesting.
Oh god.
I don't like
You
with the
do
eyes
see
saying
somebody you know.
Bitch.
Yeah, you see, this couldn't have been better. You see at the local, like, you know, it's like an open bar establishment, basically. Sort of like what you'd see at, like, a tiki bar, more or less, where it's, like, just the bar is open to the street. There's no enclosure containing this bar, but just stools kind of lined up to a bench. But the bartender behind the bar looks oddly familiar. He's got scraggly blonde hair and, like...
Greg!
The beard has come in.
Greg!
But yeah,
I'm just gonna like charge.
it's Gregory, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like charge towards the bar.
He sort of like starts at first, but immediately recognizes you, obviously, and like thinks about walking into the back room, but you have come over so quickly that he kind of just looks at you and he like is like, you know, cleaning a glass and he just goes, Tildura?
Greg, you're okay. I mean, maybe not 100% because, you know, your wife was kind of scary at the end, but you're alive!
Can I help you with something?
Yes. I would like a drink.
What do you have? It all tastes like piss and shit, so you might as well just order something cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the piss.
So he turns around very, like, begrudging, and you three have sort of, like, caught up by this point, and you realize this is, yeah, Gregory is behind the bar in this underground tavern of sorts. And he, you know, very begrudgingly sort of greets all of you and gives Jaldera her ale-ish.
Yes.
Tastes mostly like ale. He does actually give you three one as well, because he seems, his demeanor is very icy, but he still has sort of that, like, familiarity to you guys, so he's being civil.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the sense you're getting at this point, but he's very quiet, and he kind of just looks again after a moment and sighs, and he goes, "What are you all doing down here?"
Well, we came to beseech the altar.
What?
Delta. Beseech.
Beseech.
Hmm.
But they can explain it better. But what are you doing down here?
I think he works here.
That. Yes.
But how'd you get here?
Well, I had to find some place to be after what happened.
You could have come and stayed with us.
Thanks, but no thanks. I like earning a living. And this was about the only place I could find that I could go that I wasn't going to be run out of.
Oh. Yeah. Well, how long have you been here? Can I ask?
Couldn't have been more than a year and a half or so.
So, you know your way around.
Fairly well.
Generally.
To this extent. I come in, go to the same place every day, leave.
Fair. Know any fortune tellers?
You're looking for the fortune teller.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, you can. I know where his establishment is within the underground. I know you have to get an appointment.
I can make an appointment, but can you just tell me how to get there?
Yes, and he just sort of like points off and he goes, "You're going to want to go in that direction. About 3 rows on the left, you're going to find a man, and he's going to be very hard to see. Sounds strange, but he keeps a charm on him where if you're not looking for him in particular, you can't see him."
Cool. Does he have a name other than the fortune teller?
Well, that's his associate. You don't get to see the fortune teller unless you have an appointment.
So I make an appointment with him. Great. I can do that. Thank you, Greg.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you want to come hang out with us, we are at the Black Lantern Inn, and we'd love to have you stop by.
I don't think I'll be doing that, but the good businessman in me says if you would like any more ale, by all means come back.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it's pretty good.
we're very sorry.
So am I.
Have you heard any news about the hag?
No. But apparently I'm as in the dark as anybody could be.
Could I roll insight on that just to be sure?
That's a good choice of roll.
18?
18. He, in the aftermath of this event, it seemed like when he got run out of town, you guys didn't hear anything from him. And he does seem like he's being truthful, he's also, like, very guarded about the whole thing. Like, it's really kind of, like, cut him very deeply because he was married to this woman for, like, 3 some odd years and found out she was a hag and, like, his whole life got flipped upside down. So he's very terse. And while there might be, potentially more to the story, it doesn't seem like anything pertinent. He doesn't know anything. He might know the, like, odds and ends, perhaps, but nothing that he has any desire to go into.
Have you seen Zendaya around here?
Not once.
Interesting.
What about Molly?
Molly? Why would I have seen her? Down here?
Just in case.
No.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time, so
I appreciate that.
we'll go. But it was good to see you again.
Wish I could say the same, but good luck with whatever you're looking for.
No one's ever happy to see me, so it's fine. Bye, Greg.
Well, Greg.
Thank you again for all of your help. And I tip on like a goal.
Oh, well, yeah, he appreciates that. Yeah, you guys can get the sense while he's being very, like, cross, he was really nice to you when you guys were in Watershed.
Yeah,
like,
he was my buddy.
Yeah, when things were good, he was really nice, but he's also, like, you can tell he is out of sorts. Like, he's changed a lot since last you guys saw him, and, like, where he was sort of this well-to-do business, like, owner and barkeep back in Watershed, he is at the bottom of the barrel now, so looks like he's probably drinking half of the stock on a regular basis. So it's just he's had a rough go of it.
Would you roll an insight?
18.
I guess we should mosey on out.
So you guys travel to where Greg directed you.
Yes.
And I will have you, whoever's leading the charge.
Well, you told me directions, so...
He did, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm going to have you roll a perception with disadvantage. Because
Well,
of
I've
this
been
guy.
doing so great so far.
You could do real well, I don't know.
2 20s. Oh.
10.
Okay. You kind of, you guys sort of walk up and down the thoroughfare a couple of times where you know that this guy is supposed to be. There's a lot of people, a lot of different people that look like they've got some sort of important business. You actually like mistake a different person for this guy that you're looking for at one point. And they sort of brush you off very, very quickly. Not having a hard time, but you know he's supposed to be here somewhere. So I would say the other three of you, in an attempt to assist Ashes in this, go ahead and roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
10.
17.
Ooh.
She is like seeing everything.
Very aware.
Yeah. So, Jaldira, not only do you see this person sort of like flip into view, like essentially it's one of those reversals where, like, you know, in movies where the crowd like goes across somebody and they disappear. It's sort of the same sort of thing where the crowd goes across and you see this man sort of apparate in front of you, and based on the description Ashes gave you, if you're looking for it, seems like it's probably the right guy. You also see him talking to what looks like the person that was like walked past you guys in the inn that you saw the other evening, and that person, like the hooded figure, sort of like walks away after they've had this conversation. And the man that you're supposed to like sort of the liaison for the fortune teller looks a little bit frustrated, but, you know, sort of just stands. He's got a very, like, Varys from Game of Thrones vibe to him. Like, he's, like, you know, bald, has, you know, sort of, like, very, keeps himself very, like, prim and proper. He's there, he's available.
Yeah, I'll go up and talk to him.
Okay, what's this guy's name?
Oh. Ignacio, jeez. Give me a hard one, huh?
Ignacio.
I like that.
Ignacio, okay. I think made him a little bit more exotic looking. All right, so I'd say he probably has very tan skin then. And he sort of looks at you, sees this Goliath sort of like walking towards him, and realizes that you can see him very proudly, and sort of like, you know, you see him kind of grit his teeth a little bit, and he goes, "Can I help you with something?"
Yeah. We need to speak to the fortune teller.
I'm hot on her heels.
Ash just kind of like, you know, travels up and like peeks behind Jaldura, and then again, sort of like the Scooby-Doo effect where it's like Ashes and then Magpie, and then Alan just sort of like walks into the front after a certain point, and he kind of like, you know, assesses all of you, assesses the goblin that you're with, and is kind of just like laughs to himself. He goes, "Would you possibly need to talk to the fortune teller for?"
Excuse me. We're just here to make an appointment with him. We heard that you were the fellow for that.
I am, but I need to know what your business is. One does not simply make an appointment just to make an appointment.
No, you make an appointment because you want one.
Right, for what reason?
A friend of ours, she suggested we come and talk to him, that he may be able to, you know, tell us something.
About?
A missing friend of ours.
Don't help me if I understood what circumstances your friend might be missing under. It might sway his,
She got snatched.
Are you familiar with hags?
Yes, of course I am.
I'm just...
Where do you think we are?
I don't know you. Our friend was taken by a hag.
Taken, and you hope to find her?
Mm-hmm.
We'd hope to find anything.
Either to put her to rest or to send her home.
Interesting. Ashes, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with advantage, because everybody's sort of been assisting you.
Thank God.
Persuasion?
Yes.
14.
14. Okay, so he sort of nods after a moment, and... Yes, well, I suppose that might be of interest to him.
Well, great. How do we make an appointment?
I'll tell you where to go. At what time? You could probably start heading over there now, as it takes a bit to get there. But leave the rest to me. What are your names?
Ashes.
Gwen.
Hey, bye.
Joldura.
And the little one?
That's Crab.
He just goes, cramp!
That's Graham.
Well, yes, and he sort of turns around and he points and sort of gives you guys directions on where you can find the fortune teller. And what you gather, based on what he's telling you, is that it is in one of those rooms that was partitioned off, like one of those sort of kept out of general view. You weren't sure what they were used for specifically, but sort of how he explains it to you is that some of those rooms are used as like either private meeting places or they are sort of more spiritual, like alcoves. Made, like, built within the underground. And so he gives you directions on where to find him and says that there is one appointment ahead of you, but you can start heading over there now and wait if you need to.
Okay.
So you guys start making your way, and Ignacio sort of, like, just nods his head, just sort of tersely as you exit. And start making your way there. As you guys approach, you see that the partition has been, put up for the most part, but is sort of like there's a little lip on the side that opens it just a little bit where, like, if you were so inclined, you certainly could snoop. You're not sure if that's particularly frowned upon or not in this sort of environment. But you do hear, like, muffled voices coming from within the fortune teller's space, as it were. And does anybody have any interest in listening in?
Yes. I saw that going. I want to listen.
Okay.
And Magpie too.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna say Ashes is still like kind of looking around, just seeing if he notices anyone.
Okay, so you're on the lookout.
He's just,
yeah.
looking for people he might notice that he knows.
Perception?
This would be perception. Hearing perception.
6.
16.
Clean out
16. Oh yeah, so Jaldura
is like fucking Sherlock.
Yeah, so Gwen and Ashes are sort of like blocking this like this sort of scene that is happening because Jaldura has gotten down on essentially like all fours and Magpie is on top of her and they're both just like have their ears like pressed against this partition and are just trying to like you just see like from the other side you just see like Magpie's like one eyeball just like flitting around through this partition. So, Jaldura, you're having the most luck with hearing what's going on inside. You hear two gentlemen speaking, or I think so anyway, because we're gonna flip it over to that fifth person sitting at our table. So, do you want to describe what your character looks like as you are speaking to the fortune teller, and also let me know is the fortune teller a male or a female, and what their name is?
Male.
Okay.
Name, okay.
Oh God.
Oh God, it can't be Pemberley. Don't do Pemberley.
I'm gonna go with Dumb because Dumb's fun. Francis LaCroix.
Francis, eh?
Is he related to Francine?
Or Mr. LaCroix. Or
Yes.
Doctor?
Dr.
I'm not sure.
Dr. Strange.
I like the angle we kind of made up, so I'm gonna say Doctor.
Oh God, I have to do a French accent. Help.
I mean, you can make him not French.
No, it's fine. I'm
Could
gonna
just
commit.
be a name.
I'm gonna commit Francis to Francis, who might be, roughly immigrated from some French-speaking country.
French-ish.
French-ish. So yeah, your character is sitting across ways from this fortune teller, and in the room, this sort of like carved out stone room, it is. Anna and I sort of conferred on this a bit earlier. So it's an astrolabe, which is essentially like the big mechanical disc in the center of the room that's sort of like almost like it's built into a table. Like it's a very large round space that has this sort of like this carving, this mechanical. You can't tell if parts of it are stone, parts of it are metal. It's all sort of like fuddled together. But what you do notice is that it is constantly, parts of it are constantly sort of whirring around and also cascading light, like different light patterns onto the stonework up ahead and around you in the room. And this person across from you is very stoic, looks very similar to their associate where they are just like, shaved head. This person has a long black goatee and wears like very, very gold, elegant robes and just sort of like stoically like nods at you as you approach and are conversing with them. But your character...
What do you look like?
Is like my back to the door. How much can they see?
Your back is to the door, yes. So essentially, like, you guys are kind of sort of like perpendicular. So the door is over here, and you guys are sort of stationed across from each other. So under your periphery, it's you could potentially see something.
Yeah.
Out of there. It's very clear that the fortune teller doesn't, though.
The hood is absolutely thrown back at this point. He still has like a heavy cloak on. I think the most noticeable part are the 2 longswords he has strapped to his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of wearing like a fighter's gear, so like, leather armor, etc.
Mm-hmm.
His hair is like kind of scruffy. His whole like demeanor is kind of tattered and scruffy, and his hair is longer, tied back in like kind of a stubby little like ponytail, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But the most, I guess, the strangest part they'd probably notice at this point would be the like blindfold he has tied around his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's talking. We're chatting.
You are chatting. Trey Stranger, how are you?
Trey Stranger. Do you want me to tell my name? I'll wait till they like talk to me before.
Well, actually, that's the interesting part. Is the fortune teller knew your name before you sat down. They didn't hear this though.
Okay, cool. They don't get to know.
The fortune teller knew
Where
your
should
name
we-
before you sat down, which was a little disconcerting. Granted, you did give it to the liaison, but
That's true.
he knew your full name, which you know you didn't give. He knew a couple things about you. He seemed like very cryptically he sort of understood your intentions for being there, as far as like what you were seeking. Didn't give you the sense that he was at all suspicious of you, though. Seemed very aware, and seems very passive about the whole circumstance. Doesn't seem to be alarmed in any fashion. And you guys, Daldera, you're specifically picking this up as you're picking up this like just very almost like a monotone speech of this this man recounting details of why this patron is visiting him. And
Ooh, what does he say?
oh god,
Sorry. It doesn't have to be French.
you hear him say, "You've made a mistake.
What do you mean?
What you're seeking, you've been given false information. I'm not your enemy."
I've heard you've been conspiring, that you've been working together. Do you deny it?
Depends on how you define working.
How do you define it?
I like to consider all relationships of value. The more you know about a certain type of thing, the better off you are. Yes, inherently, they're dangerous. And yes, inherently, they do despicable things. But if we don't get to know them, how are we ever supposed to understand what it is that they're doing?
That's not the answer I wish to hear, if I'm being completely honest.
I didn't expect as much. But sometimes honesty isn't what you're seeking. Maybe it's you just want what you want to see. You want to hear what you want to hear.
Where is it? Are you going to give me the information I want or not?
I don't think it is what you're looking for right now.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I am not the person that can help you find that information, but... And he sort of like looks up at this point and over towards the door. Oh, shit. And then looks back down. Looks back to you very quickly.
Did I notice this?
Roll me a perception check. You also have a this is a sight based, so this would be very, very subtle. So I would say in this instance it'd be disadvantage.
Did I hear it happening?
Him moving his eyeballs, no.
Perception. Perception. 12. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever used this. Oh, I get advantage on perception checks that require hearing or smell, which is all of them.
But that's not particularly what you're looking for in this
Damn it.
instance.
Okay,
Yes.
no, that's fair. That's fair. I will allow that ruling. Okay. Yeah, 12.
12. So, you don't notice that he is essentially just like looked
Moving
over
or-
and
okay.
looked back. And you guys don't even necessarily notice this. Jadar, you just heard a pause. That's all you heard specifically. And
So you won't help me. It sounds like you're siding with a fucking hag right now.
if that's how you see it. But that's how you
It
choose to see
certainly
it.
looks that way.
You'll find your information, but I'm not the one that can help you do so.
He's gonna stand up.
Okay? So
At
you
this point,
you guys hear like a big, like,
he's
like,
he's getting angry. So you're telling me you have this, whatever the hell this mechanical contraption is, all of this insight. I've heard, rumors about your abilities. Really? Nothing.
Just because I have the
I've
means
come
to
along-
give you the information doesn't mean that I
I've
should.
come a long way, fortune teller.
And you are dangerous in and of yourself, and with this information, I fear that you might become more dangerous. Not only to you, but to innocent people. You will find what you're looking for. That much I can tell you, but not today.
I've had enough of these cryptic answers. I've been hunting for 8 years. I'm too close. You will tell me what I want to know.
I think it's time for you to leave.
I'm not going anywhere.
snap.
I'm gonna grab the steel sword on my back.
Okay, so Jaldir, you hear a sword unsheathing.
We need him to find Molly.
You do hear this.
Yeah.
You do hear this Cockney accent coming from outside the doorway.
And
just like Magpie sort of gets like jostled backwards as you sort of stand
I'm
up.
gonna start advancing on him.
Okay, he doesn't move, actually. He sort of just stands there.
Jaldir, you need
Okay,
to relay some
I'm gonna
information.
grab him by the
No.
collar
Sorry.
then and hold him up to my face and try and intimidate the hell out of him.
Okay, roll me an intimidation check.
Okay.
After that, I want to break through the door.
Go ahead and roll me a strength check.
Yes.
Or athletics, whichever's better.
They're both strength based.
Damn it, but
12.
12. He is, you can see that there's a little bit of concern. Like, he knows what you are, so he's a little bit concerned. Like, you can see there's a little bit of fear behind his eyes, but he's very trained at keeping his expression very neutral. Because, like, obviously, this isn't his first rodeo. People probably come and try to threaten him a lot, so he is not giving much headway. And what did you get for your athletics check?
13.
13. So, as you have him by the collar, Jaldira, you sort of just like bash through this wooden partition, and you turn and you hear this commotion of all these this wood splintering as light pours into the room, and this lumber Goliath comes running through. And
I'm turning around and holding this sword up to his neck.
Okay, so yeah, Jaldira, you enter
I
in and you
grappled
see
him, if
this
that's all right.
this mechanical table in front with these lights cascading off of it, but beyond that you see what you can only assume is the fortune teller being held hostage by this other individual.
Stop!
Who the hell are you?
Can we come clambering in?
Oh yeah,
after?
you guys are all following suit. Yeah, so you guys see the same thing.
There's all these women here.
Excuse
What are
me.
they doing? Oh, and one more step and he's dead.
No.
Yes.
We need him.
Please.
Why don't
So
we
you better
all
stay
just
where you
calm
are.
down?
No.
Listen, can we talk to him first if you're gonna kill him?
Yeah, you could kill him right after, but could we just talk to him
Can we
first?
just chat for a minute, just a minute, please?
I'd like to roll insight on them.
Sure. What are you trying to incite?
I want to know if they're what their fucking deal is.
Well, I don't think we know what
It's less of that,
Yeah.
and are they honest about do they really just want to chat and then they'll leave?
I don't know. Is that true, guys?
Yeah, I just
okay.
give a shit
Okay,
what
go
I
ahead
get
and
what
roll
I
insight, I
need.
guess.
He has no idea, so it's a legit thing. Oh, I did really good. 25.
25. Yeah. I mean, they seem like a little bit naive, if anything. But
He
I
sees
mean,
into our soul.
yeah. I mean, they're all from what you can hear in their you guys do notice that he has a blindfold over his face, but he seems very keenly aware. He kind of shifts his attention very minutely as you all are different voices are speaking. But it's Yeah, I mean, they seem like
He's
they're being
listening.
honest. And then the fortune teller, you guys all noticed that Francis, Francis LaCroix, is, he actually has, like, a small smile on his face upon your entry.
Listen, I know you can't see. Well, I don't know if you can't see, but you've got a blindfold on, and you're holding that knife really close to his throat. I just think you should be
I'm
aware.
gonna dig it in a little bit.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
Do a couple.
Why are you trying to kill this man?
Do a couple hit points worth of damage.
Okay, yeah, he sort of, like, you know, he stiffens a little bit, and you can hear him sort of, like, suck in air.
Okay. Yeah, so if we could just talk to him for, like...
About what?
Well,
None of
we're...
your business. Is
Why do we have to tell you?
Yeah.
I dig it in a little bit further.
We're looking for a hag! We're looking for a hag! Now stop it!
He definitely like slackens, not on his like grapple, but on like the long sword he's got up to his neck. A hag.
Yeah.
Why?
She took our friend. And we need to find her. And we have to talk to him so we can beach the altar.
She means beseech. Beseech the altar.
Do I know anything about an altar?
Go ahead, roll me a history check. Possibly.
We don't know.
A one. I don't even need.
Oh, you got a one. No.
What's an
I mean,
altar?
A palter. No. Where do we leave off before we got to the beach?
We're looking for our friend.
We're looking for our friend.
That's why we're looking for the hag.
The hag
Yeah.
took their friend, and they're looking for
Got
the
it.
hag.
Well, you're out of luck. He won't talk about any hag.
Maybe to you.
Ashes.
What?
Just be nice.
Why?
He's gonna let go of him and like chuck him back into the chair.
Yeah, he's sort of like, you can see him sort of
Flop
like
him
heaving a
back
couple
in.
breaths that he's been holding. Like, he has been tense the entire time, but is just like, you know, very, still like very precariously judging the situation around him.
He still leaves his weapon out for sure, but I think he says, "Ask away."
Thanks for the permission.
Magpie looks at Ashes, like, kind of like, this kid's not so bad. I like this.
So, like, Ash just looks directly from, like, ignores him now.
Are you the fortune teller?
I am.
Good. We have an appointment.
You do.
It doesn't help.
I didn't ask you.
He still doesn't look at this man.
We were told to come find you, so
Correct.
you must know something about something.
I do know something about something.
And what's that something?
Zendaya did contact me
When?
a few days ago.
And
She told me you would come to find me.
here we are.
Here you are. And I know that you are looking for your friend. She is still alive.
I just touched Outdoor's, like, knee.
But she is in trouble.
Well, can I roll insight on that?
Absolutely.
18.
18, he's being honest.
Okay.
Yeah, cryptic, but honest. He continues and he explains that Zendaya would have told you about the altar that you're looking for, and that you guys are destined to cross paths with Molly again, but you don't have all the information you need yet to do so.
Okay.
Think long and hard about how you want to find her and where you think she might be. I don't know where she is, but I know how to help you find where she is.
She with the hag.
She is, as far as I know.
Do they know they're coming?
Do they know they're what? Sorry.
Does the hag know they are coming?
I would anticipate, but I don't know.
You seem like such good friends with them.
He kind of just like
that is.
he sort of like puts his stare back down, and he you see that the sort of like gyroscope mechanism on the table has started to whir to life a little bit at this point, and he continues and he says, "You need to find information. There is information down here for you to find, and when you approach the altar, you need to ask it 3 questions." Be very clear about what you're asking. Don't take this lightly.
So, what is it that we need to know?
I can't answer that for you. Depends on what you're looking for.
We already told you. We're looking for a friend.
You are. But there's more to it than just that. She's not going to be in the same state that you left her. So think about what it is that you want to find.
Do you know where Zendaya is?
Not anymore. She was here. Suppose she's gone back to wherever she had been hiding.
That's not surprising. So, 3 questions, and there are answers here. Specifics?
Patrons in the underground. Friends where you don't know where to find them. You have to look.
Well,
Or you can simply go and ask. Depends on how confident you're feeling.
well, lots of math. Fine.
But when you're ready, I'll show you where the altar is.
So we can just come back here, and you'll show us.
Unless this guy kills him.
That's
Can
true.
you not?
That is true.
Oh yeah, so about that 5 minutes. We might have to extend that a little bit, but...
Do you want to know what I know about this guy?
Yeah.
He's working with the hag. Why would you want to keep him alive?
How do you know this?
He's admitted it
sees
himself.
He sees things differently than I do, but he also has taken great measures to get what he wants. Some would consider it unsavory.
Oh, so why should we trust you over him? Who are you?
Give it.
He's gonna sigh. Because obviously you have a point. What are your names?
No.
That's not how that works.
Try again. What's your name?
Jaldura.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is the part where you introduce yourself because it's polite.
I hear more than one voice, clearly. I don't think I've gotten that crazy yet.
I'll make pie.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Well met. She's unfazed. She doesn't care. This happens
Just
all
doesn't
the time.
care.
Doesn't give a shit.
You'll have to speak up.
Cramp. Cramp. He hasn't spoken the entire time, but you get like a very like squat voice down in the distance somewhere. And sounds like a goblin.
It's a goblin.
You are?
Yeah, we already did give you 3 names.
That's
3 names.
Fair. My name's Jameson.
Keep going.
Jameson Dillspear.
Dill Spear? Oh no!
Yes.
I had him up the entire time too.
Oh Oh my god. What?
Well, I understand now why you didn't want to tell us your name.
Oh man.
Nice to meet you, Jameson. My name is Gwendolyn.
Have any of us heard of the Dill Spear clan?
Yeah. No, you have not. This person seems to be somewhat of a lone wolf.
Yeah, honestly.
We might have started.
Vaugh's like out. I'm out.
I guess it's nice to meet you.
Now you guys gotta tell him your names.
Gwen already did.
But
Fine, tiny child. Whatever you want.
That's right. It is whatever I want. So, I take it you're looking for the hag too. How do we know it's the same hag?
Is there multiple hags around?
I mean, there are multiple hags, not one quite like
This one's
as
like the
at
big
large.
one.
Yeah.
Trust me. I've gone through a few hags.
really?
This one in particular is hard to kill. And if you've been looking for her for how long?
2 years.
It's the same hag.
How long have you been?
8.
That more than 2.
What made you start looking?
Let's just say she took something from me as well.
Person?
Eyeballs.
Several. And yes.
Eyeballs. Oh.
Sounds like the same one.
Maybe they were your eyeballs that we found. But I don't know if they do you any good now. What do we do with those eyeballs?
We got rid of them.
Magpie ate one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She just sort of is like.
Starts licking her lips.
Well, sounds like we have a common goal.
So, I don't know.
Can we
Why don't we go to
go
this
with the man?
altar now?
No.
Why?
He said we had to find information first.
About what?
I don't know.
He said we had to ask
Sounds
questions.
like an excuse.
You sound like you don't value information.
What kind of questions are you supposed to ask?
I don't.
Once again, I cannot answer that for you.
It's a
Right.
bunch of bullshit, if you ask me.
I didn't.
So we just gotta go find some questions.
That you don't know. About what? The hag?
I don't think he's going to tell you. He's very mysterious.
It's true.
I can tell you that they will assist you as much as you will assist them.
Oh,
Are
we
you-
must be who she was talking about.
Already. You've got to be kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding?
I feel like we're being underestimated.
And your appointment is over. Thank you for coming, and I will hopefully see you soon.
That's the hope.
Huh. Well,
Time to start looking.
yeah.
But where do we start?
This can't be what your plan is.
What? do you
Just
mean?
ask random questions until he lets you back in.
Again.
What questions are you going to ask?
I think we have to discuss that to
Of
see if it
course.
is what we really want to find out. Since it sounds like Molly is alive, but she may not be what we left her to be.
So, we need to decide what it is we're looking for,
And what-
how we want to find it, and some mysterious question 3.
I think we need to investigate just in general to see if there's a higher group above this hag. Maybe there's a hag con that we have to visit.
Hagcon.
PagCon.
I'm out. Goodbye.
But the point is, we have to find out if there's a bigger meaning to all of this. Obviously, you've come in contact and had problems. We've come in contact and had problems. I'm sure there's many more people that have had problems with the same people. We need to find the head of the snake.
And eat it.
Was that on the list too?
What?
The head of the snake.
No. Just the fortune teller and the altar, but we're not prepared for the altar yet. So let's get prepared.
Yeah, that's. I don't really have. Should we talk to Greg?
He's been sort of like very just like sort of scooting you passive aggressively out as you guys have been talking.
Yeah.
I don't let him touch me.
Sassy.
Bumpy.
Yeah, this gentleman that you guys, Jameson, is seems very chagrined by the whole situation. That's the sense you're getting. So.
There's my middle name.
It is relish.
No.
What is it?
Jameson Relish Dill Spear.
Actually typed, so didn't make that up on the spot.
Nope.
Well, alright. So, I think it's time to investigate.
Okay.
He said we could ask anyone, but that seems kind of like a wild goose chase.
What time is it now?
Currently. Like in the game.
In the game.
In the game. It is, I'd say you guys got a pretty early start, so it's like a little bit before noon.
Cool.
What do I know about this town? Like, what other contacts would be worthwhile to talk to?
Oh, go ahead and roll me a d6.
5.
5. Well, you do know that there is a very vast network of sort of like contacts on both sides of the fence. I wouldn't describe it as like a good and evil side of the fence, but there's definitely there's people that you've specifically come into contact with that are more in your line of work and your background. There's also people that can be found that are sort of well versed in the hag's intentions, almost like moles that sort of skitter around and find information like siphons for the hags themselves. Generally, those people, those types of people are referred to as acolytes, just because they sort of act as a familiar to the hag, but they're not shunned from this mecca. Because they not only provide, it's sort of like value for a price. Like they provide good information depending on how much you're willing to pay. But they're not necessarily on your side. They like having both sides of the fence open to get their business done. So they like having the hags around.
I will give them information about these acolytes
yeah.
and basically present it as this is obviously probably guaranteed to give us some information on the hag, but it's also the riskier option and something I've avoided using in the past because they often will turn around and let them know that you are coming. So there is a bit of risk involved.
Well, what if we get the information and then kill him?
That works too.
What?
Tell Jara.
We gotta find Molly.
You, Jameson, know that, like, and in that context, it's totally possible to do too, but you know that a certain level of subtlety is always encouraged in this sort of
we
environment.
can't do it in the middle of the square. It has to be sneaky and fast and quiet.
So we're outside now.
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. He's
So
like
there's like
shaky at this
traffic
point.
and so there's like foot traffic and people around. All right. Ashes just wants to take another cursory glance around.
Okay.
Just keeping his eyes peeled.
Roll a perception check.
Please, Caleb.
I know who you're looking for, but
Why? He just wants answers, damn it. Hey. Perception.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 14.
14. So you guys notice that Ashes, like, without being given much visual description on what these acolytes might look like, has like started to sort of like peruse the crowd. So it's a little bit confusing to you that like you haven't really been given a direction yet and he's already sort of like off looking for something. So it seems like a little bit disconnected. While you don't see a person specifically, you do see sort of an echo of something from your past that leads you to believe that it might be who you're looking for, just in a different form. It's a black dog.
Oh.
That's
Serious
sort of
black.
It's serious black.
yeah, it's a black dog. It looks like it's sort of like a Great Dane with like very upright, sort of like pointed sort of ears. Like they don't look supernatural. Yeah, it's very Anubis-esque. Exactly.
Oh.
And it sort of like regards you and then dips into the crowd very, very quickly. But you still have sight of it. You know where it's going.
Okay. He's not gonna rush, but he'll follow.
Okay, so Ashes starts moving in a direction.
Ashes. Well, I guess, do I notice him going? Maybe
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should.
yeah.
Okay.
You've been very conscientious about where
Okay.
everybody is the whole time, so.
I just want to,
We've
like...
established that.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure. Where are you going?
We're looking. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, but you should take someone with you.
Well, then come on.
We should probably stay together.
Okay. Then let's all go.
All right. That's a good idea, Gwen. Okay, well, I'll just follow you then.
Good idea, Gwen.
Where are we going? Can I, like, how much can I sense?
Yeah. Do we need to guide?
Can I, like, sense a dog?
Cram
I need
just
to
takes
roll
his
every
hand.
time for my surroundings. How do you
I
wanna
think
do it?
I think you need to,
I'm
like,
open
you
to
have the
whatever.
general sense of, like, you know, with your
Got it.
special powers, but you have the general sense of your environment, but I would say roll to see if you know specifically what like has sort of, if there's anything out of place from like just people walking around.
Perception?
Yeah.
8. Not great.
Where
Where are we going?
You realize that your group is heading in that direction. You're able to follow them without an issue. You just don't know what Ashes specifically is looking at or following.
That's fine.
Can any of us see it besides Ashes at the moment?
No, it didn't seem like he was looking at anything in particular.
Yeah. I'll kind of start to try and take Jameson's arm to, like, guide him. Well, I'm just trying to help. How many fingers am I holding up?
Did you see me needing help before?
No. Okay.
You tried.
I love it. So you follow. Go ahead and roll me a survival check to follow and track this dog.
Can I ask, like, what was the last thing I heard about the hag? Like, the trail led me here.
The last thing you heard about the hag was that they were essentially
Can't navigate
more
a
of
road,
them were
can't find
popping
a
up than
building.
usual.
Fuck, okay.
It's not a vast number by any means. It's not even into the tens yet, but that's still alarming enough for you.
Do I know this hag's name by Amelia?
No, you do not.
So it doesn't have a name to me?
No, it does. It has a different name, a different woman's
get to-
name. You get to name it. Because that's how we play this one shot.
Mm-hmm.
They named Amelia, so you get to name the other name.
Yeah. Melanie.
Melanie. Okay, yeah. Melanie, and you knew Melanie as the overlap is you also knew her as the midwife that was in your town. So she sort of had the same MO back then as she did, and not that they. I don't know how much you guys are caring and sharing about all of the events that have transpired to you or to Molly, but. That's the general sense, and I would say that you've gotten that information that she sort of like masquerades as this type of role in several different environments. So you can sort of make the inference that she probably was that sort of person in their town too. You're just not sure where.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got 8.
You got an 8. You don't lose sight of it per se, but you are. Jaldera, roll me a survival check to keep track of Ashes.
19.
19. Excellent.
Why do you
So
survive so well?
it's really
Outlander.
helpful though, because otherwise Ashes would have probably gotten separated from you guys, because he actually was like trying to very vigorously keep up with this dog, or like whatever you don't see it, what he's looking for, but he starts to like take off into a sprint after a certain point, trying to catch up with it, because it's getting out of sight and you have to figure out where it's going. Shelter is very tall, so it's easy for you guys to sort of, as she's bisecting the crowd chasing after Ashes, sort of follow where they are. And after a certain point, Ashes, you come to an open, sort of a more open area of the thoroughfare, like sort of a bowl of the that bisects the pathway. And there's a handful of people sort of milling about, but this is a more darkened corner of the underground, and you can see that these people that are all sort of milling about, they look like they are either by themselves and keeping to themselves, or if they are talking to anybody, it's very hushed. There's not a whole lot of bustle. It seems like this looks like a more private place to do dealings, from what you can guess. And then Jameson, go ahead and roll me a perception check, and this is a hearing perception check. Because you didn't know what you were looking for.
Perception 19.
One of the people in this circle is speaking to another individual, and you can absolutely identify the conversation. It's like sort of encoded. It's like very akin to a thief's cant, but it's
I know what it is, though.
Yeah, you know what it is, and you know that this person's one of the acolytes that's like directing this conversation. So you have a good sense. The person hasn't noticed you yet. But
wait, this is the one that's talking to them?
No, this is
a separate thing.
This is a separate person.
I just led you here.
Yeah, Ashes led you guys to this open thoroughfare, essentially, this thoroughfare.
Okay, so I sense where the acolyte is.
You sense where the acolyte is, and they have not noticed you. Essentially, Ashes and Daldera sort of like rush in, and you get some looks as you sort of rush in. This dog is nowhere to be found, though. The trail has sort of ended, and to much to you guys, you guys have no idea why you were like just following Ashes into this clearing, or what he was looking for specifically. And Ashes, you don't really know why you were led here.
Story of my life.
There's one of them close by. Grab him. Is that what you want to do? You want to talk to them?
Well, yeah, you suggested that.
I'm going to. Can I Assassin's Creed stealth in the crowd?
You can certainly roll me a stealth check, yes.
Okay.
Steal. We hide in the shadows.
18.
So you guys see your new friend Jameson, sort of like, it's not like he's like doing a crunk thing, like it's not quite that. Yeah, he sort of just like very effortlessly sort of like weaves in and out of the people that are in this thoroughfare, sort of like edging his way in a direction, and you see who he's after by the way that the person startles. They don't notice you until you're like almost right on top of them, but they know what you are, and they start to turn and run.
I try and grab him by the shoulder.
Go ahead.
Not like aggressively, but
yeah. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
Straight dex 11.
11. He's not like a fighter by any means, so it's not like he's like real.
Do I know him like by name?
You do. I'm gonna give somebody else a chance to name somebody though, because they've been
naming everyone.
So
sorry,
he
I'm
hasn't gotten
getting
a
this
name
down
in
for a
NPC
while.
yet today. I think.
I don't think any of us have.
You guys haven't? Okay. We'll do a D4. We'll see who gets to. That was it. 4. Daldera gets to name whoever this.
I've already named one.
Oh, okay. So we'll do Bagpie then.
What's this dude's name?
What's this dude's name?
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
The acolyte.
Can he be like a fae?
Chauncey. Fae are not common.
Got it.
Yeah, so no,
That's
he would not be. He might be like a half elf or something, but like, he's probably got some like quarter elven heritage in him or something. He doesn't look quite human, but he is just like a sniveling coward. He's just like, as soon as you grab onto him, you guys hear this like, wah! As he's like pulled backwards, and like, he's just trying really desperately. He's like, I don't know what you want, man. Like, I didn't do anything.
Chauncey.
What? Come on, I've helped you before.
It's
What
been
did I
a
do
while.
now? I didn't do anything. anything. You guys just see this guy like struggling under the grasp of Jameson, and you guys eventually sort of make your way over there. But Jameson at this point has sort of pulled him into a more remote area.
For sure, I was gonna say that.
So it's you guys in a hallway, basically, with this dude who's like looking around. He's like, "Who are they?"
Don't worry about it.
Well, I just know he
Jason,
works
who's
with the
this?
hag, so I'm gonna be aggressive with this guy.
God.
Go ahead, you two roll me. I'm gonna say you roll an intimidation check, and then Jalder is assisting you. So
Okay.
we'll see how
Who are we? Chocolate.
I got an 11 to assist.
Okay, so you can roll with advantage, certainly.
12.
So I mean, just by sheer numbers, he's not spooked to the point where he's like peeing himself by any means, but he's just he seems like he's on edge. Like he doesn't understand why there's a bunch of people in this hallway cornering him. He's like, what? What did I do? I didn't do anything.
I have questions for you.
About what?
Well, you'll find out if you stop squiggling.
All right, if you got questions, he knows how this works. Where's the payment? Pay up front.
How about we pay you by not killing you right away?
He's not scared enough yet.
Okay.
Not scared enough. He kind of just looks at you. He goes, I run a business here, lady.
It seems like you're running away from business.
Well, if he would let me go, perhaps we could actually do this how we normally do it.
How do we know we're not going to run away?
There's nowhere to go. He looks back and you guys are in a dead end and he's like,
I don't know your scales on what.
no, I don't turn into a bat. I can't just poof out of here. I gotta run past this person. So no, I'm not going anywhere.
I'll let him go.
Okay, he kind of just brushes himself out. Yeah, this guy is he's a younger boy. He's probably Ash's age, but he's very, very scrawny, has a little bit of peach fuzz and the sort of 90s grunge brown haircut, and it's just sort of jittery. He's got a little bit of a spaz vibe going on, but he's sort of brushing himself off, and he's just all right, it's 20 silver per question. Whatever information you want.
Per question?
Yeah, that's how this works. And you can see, you sort of are keyed up about this because he's given you a very discounted rate in the past, but he doesn't know them. So I don't know if you pipe up with that information or not, but
I was gonna ask him.
Quincy.
that's not my name.
Chauncey. Yeah, we don't care what your name is.
Saltera, take it down a notch.
Go ahead and roll me another intimidation check. See if you're just boring into him enough to get him to drop the price.
Her or
You.
me? Nope.
He sticks to his guns. He's just kind of what? I don't know them.
We don't know you either.
Yeah, I know. So 20 silver per question. You want to pony up or you want to let me get back to work?
How about 10 silver? And if we feel like it's a good answer, we'll pay you the rest.
No. 10 silver up front if we're doing that game, but I only give you half of an answer.
I don't
Is he
think
trustworthy?
Insight check.
Okay,
I
go
don't
for it.
know if any of them really are. He's given me all the right information in the past.
Look, my business is my reputation, so...
Just alright.
It might be worth paying the
10. And that was for what? I'm sorry.
Price.
for
Just insight.
insight. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty seedy, so it's hard to say.
Then what do we want to ask him?
I don't know.
Thoughts,
I'm gonna
Gwen?
ask him just where the hag is. Is that what we want to know? Is we want to know where the hag is, don't
Who's
we?
the top hag? Who leads the hags in this area?
But we want the one that took Molly.
True.
Yes.
But
we can't really ask specifically for that hag if she goes by a different name elsewhere.
Well, you've been hunting the hags longer. What do you usually ask?
Good question.
I would say you default to locations as opposed to a name. You've been tracking her pattern, so you knew, you knew that regardless of the fact that these guys haven't said it, the last town she was in was Watershed before she disappeared, so.
Here's the angle. The midwife hag. Where is she?
No. And he kind of just looks, and he seems very, like...
She's been busy, hasn't she?
He seems more spooked by that than he does by you guys sort of trying to intimidate him, but he kind of, like, you know, he sighs, and he sort of, like, looks off to the side for a moment, and he goes... Thank you. She's been moving around. But they don't give me that sort of information. I can just tell you where she last was. And it wasn't here.
Where was it?
By here, I don't mean here, as in this. I wouldn't know that. Sorry. Yeah, Kelsey knows it, but
Yeah. No.
Come on, Quimby.
You keep doing that, I'm not going to tell you.
What do you mean by here?
They're making a pathway.
To
A different plane.
which is
I don't know. I just know that it's not where we exist.
and you don't know where they're going.
Not specifically. I just know it's been moving around.
So helpful.
Is that
Look, they don't trust me with that sort of information. That's kind of big book kind of stuff. So I can give you
Who do they
Bits and
trust with
pieces.
that kind of information?
nobody. Have you met a hag?
Yes.
Yeah, then you should know. They don't trust anybody with their information. Not even their own coven.
so? Are they getting that by portal, or how are they traveling to this place?
By magic, by some way.
Have you seen any like patterns of hags in this area going in a direction like that? Like a certain tree, a certain building,
might
an
have.
alleyway?
Would the magic he's talking about, would I know anything about that?
Go ahead, roll me an Arcana check.
Please, Lord Jesus. What is that? A 7? No. 12 plus 5 is 16, 17.
17? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you're pretty well versed with, like, the different planes of existence. I mean, you've, like, you know, very well versed in the hells, but, like, you know, you get the assumption that, like, that's probably not where they're going, but based on your knowledge of your patron, based on your knowledge of your pact, and, you know that he comes and goes from a different plane
Yes.
by way of, like, a plane shift or a teleportation spell, some sort of teleportation. It's expensive to access stuff like that. I don't actually know if it's possible to access stuff like that for, like, in just lay terms, but you get the sense that it's, like, something that you'd have to look into with, like, either a more practiced arcane practitioner or, you know, something like that, or potentially somebody who knows how to do that stuff.
What is the fortune teller? Oh, sorry. You go. Do your thing.
I asked a question before, so I just want to, like, I hand him, like, the same amount of silver again. And to answer that question, if he's seen patterns.
Yeah, they've all been going in the same direction. Seems like they're recruiting.
Which direction is that?
It's not here specifically, but she's been in and out of here a couple times, and they've gone northward from here. But I don't think this plane is what you're looking for.
Right, but the entrance to the next could be northern.
Possibly.
You had a question?
What does the fortune teller get out of knowing them?
He seems very confused by that. Like, almost like he didn't know. What do you mean?
What do you get out of this agreement, this partnership?
Protection.
From what?
From them.
Ah.
Look, whatever you guys are digging up, I don't want any part of it. Good luck, is all I gotta say. I'm just gonna not stand in their way when they're doing whatever they're gonna do.
Are you going to stand in our way?
A question. And she'll hold up a gold coin.
I'm listening.
Have you seen a halfling with him?
Has he? That's a good. Give me high or low.
Low.
Yeah, I might have. I don't know, what type
That's
of halfling
not
you
good
looking
enough.
for?
She's got red hair, red curly hair.
I'll hold up another gold coin. All of it.
Yes. I don't know, 2 months ago or so?
Where? Here?
Here. Yeah, I don't leave here, so yeah, here.
How did she look?
I don't know, like a halfling.
How did she look? Was she sick?
I don't know, she was with a human girl. They just walked through here, they bought a couple of things and they left. I didn't talk to them.
But how did she look when you saw her? Did she look tired? Did she look fine? What did she look like?
She didn't make any distinct facial expressions, if that's
Did
what
she
you're
look
asking.
okay?
I guess.
And she was with the hag.
No.
She's with the human girl.
What did the human look like?
I don't know, just looked like she was maybe a little younger than you, but...
Baker. Emily Baker.
Who did they buy? What did they buy? Which vendor?
Looked like herbs. I don't know, something for potion
Vendor.
making.
Which vendor?
Several. I didn't keep track. I didn't tail them, if that's what you're asking. I saw him come in and come out.
Where?
I don't know. What it... Another name. Alright, we're gonna go... Kaylin, what is the... There's a prevalent merchant in this area. What is their name?
His name is Barnaby.
Barnaby. So you would know. So you would know, Jameson, as he said, why don't you just go ask Barnaby? He knows what's going on. Better than I do.
Hand over the gold.
Magpie
Thank you.
flicks it in his face and leaves.
That was rude, but I'll take it still. Thanks. You done? Can I go?
For now.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you for your help. And I'm gonna grab him and whack his head against the wall.
Shit! Interesting. Okay. Go ahead. He's gonna try and wriggle. He's
It's
gonna try and
hard.
wriggle out of your grasp, but
Yeah.
go ahead and roll me a strength check. I didn't do very well,
Please.
so I'm not sure that he's gonna succeed with any sort of running, but
The strength or athletics?
athletics.
18.
Oh god, yeah, you wallop him. And I'm gonna say
Are you
that as
crushing his
Jaldura
head?
sort of picks him up and like just you knock him out, like you knock him clean out. And he's actually got like a little bit of like he looks like he's not a fighter type, so you essentially just like did a fair amount. Like you probably concussed him to a certain extent. Magpie, roll me a perception check real quick.
Natural 20.
Oh shit.
She sees the shit out of whatever it is.
He's got something very intriguing on his person
I
that
take
gets
it
dislodged.
immediately, and I take my gold point coin back.
You've seen one of these before.
What is it?
An eyeball?
It's an eyeball.
Break it.
Just eats it, yes. Following suit for last
tradition.
game. I appreciate it. Yes, he had an all-seeing eye on him. He had and you don't know whose it was. You don't know to which
Don't
hag it
care.
belonged to, but you know very, very well what these things do.
And I know how to get rid of it.
You
too.
do, yeah. And it tastes just like victory as you eat it.
We're finishing him off or what?
No.
I think we got what we needed. I don't.
No, yeah.
I think we
No.
need to.
Why?
Jaldura!
Look, he gave us what he knows. He's gonna go back and tell the hag. Do you want to save Molly or
They
not?
already know.
They already know he has
With
an
the
all-seeing
eye-seeing
eye.
Where was it on his
Well, then there's
person?
He
no
just had it,
point
like,
in
under
leaving
his,
him
like-
alive anyways.
Cinch, essentially.
Jaldura.
Could it have been like seen
We don't just
this
kill people.
meeting?
Because we don't
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
them.
Okay.
They're gonna
It can-
find out anyways.
And you guys know specifically, like, if it was on his person, they can either choose to hear or see. So likely, based on the fact that it was, like, tucked away in his person, it probably heard the conversation. It probably didn't, like, see you guys, but it knows what you talked
They
about.
can't
it from
hear.
Hmm?
All eyes can't hear. They can only see, unless it's an ear. Remember?
No, some of them, you can switch out with both.
So was it an ear or an eye? And does
We'll
it have
say-
the ability to do both?
No,
or,
it's an enchanted eyeball. We're going with eyeball, just because I wanted that.
Yeah.
To be fair, she would have done the same thing with an ear.
That's
probably.
fair, yeah.
Fair.
Okay.
We're going homebrew hag eyeball, but it can
Got it.
hear or see. It's
Got
like a
it.
scry. It's a scrying eyeball.
So, we leave him. Doesn't matter. They already know we were here. They already know what we asked him.
Why do we have to kill a person?
Because he works with the hag.
Yeah, well, when
There's
Molly
a
wants
lot
you
of
to
people
kill
that
him.
make their lives off of
What do
working
you
with
think,
hags.
Jameson?
You don't know Jamison.
Well, he's been doing this longer than we have.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound
He
like
doesn't seem
knows.
like he's been having a lot of luck.
Great.
That could be because he's murdering every person he comes across.
I don't. I promise that.
Then we leave him.
Fine.
And when we find Molly, I'm going to tell her.
I was just thinking the same thing.
All right.
So you guys decide to leave Chauncey
Yeah, fuck him.
concussed and passed out on the knocked out on the stone as you exit.
Well, got something.
Yeah.
So, you.
Mm-hmm.
Barnaby?
Yeah, oh, yes. Why not? Okay, I will try and track down Barnaby.
Okay. You know exactly where he is. Barnaby's actually Barnaby's a friend as far as like the sides are concerned. He doesn't sell to hags. He doesn't like them to be there. He doesn't want them to be there. He doesn't have much say over kind of who comes and goes in the underground, but he definitely has a very good handle on like everything that is sold. It's not all his shop, but it's sort of like he's like the grand poobah. He's the umbrella company essentially that sort of operates here. So he has a very good handle on what's going on. He's an older human gentleman, has like curly black hair that's like sort of graying and a big mustache, like big features in general. He's like a, very jovial sort of dude, and he looks at you and like he always tries to joke with you, and like just doesn't ever really
Never lands.
never does, but he always just tries.
No.
Always just tries. He's like, "Oh, hey, Jameson, how's the weather? Seen any good nice ladies lately?"
Any nice ladies.
I can't see. Yeah, sure. Barnaby.
That's my name.
Hi. Again.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. These nice ladies.
Oh, you actually have.
Yeah. Gestures awkwardly over
Police
towards
has
the
heard us. I don't know about
He kind of like
Hilarious.
You guys
Not
are about the same
everybody's
age.
a lady.
Oh, sorry.
He doesn't like wink at you per se, but he kind of like he gives
Oh my
you
God.
he gives you like a little bit of an eye. Like he's a
Gwendolyn.
little bashful. He's a nice guy. So
New
he's like,
ship. New ship.
Yes. They're looking for someone you might have seen the past couple weeks.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people in the last couple of weeks, but sure, if I can help you.
Gesture.
We're looking for a halfling and a little baby, well, not a baby girl, but a young girl. Real kind of.
How young?
Well, she's real mousy small. Maybe whatever.
14.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, I think I remember somebody like that coming through a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Did they buy anything from you?
Yeah, sure they did.
What?
They seem nice enough. You're looking for them?
Yeah.
I mean, they bought a couple, like, it seemed like potion crafting consumables, but odds and ends, they'd special ordered some stuff. They'd come in a couple months prior, asking around, so I got them a delivery, and they picked it up. Didn't seem out of the ordinary. Just was hard to find stuff. It took me a while to get it.
What were they buying?
He lists off a series of ingredients, and I'm actually gonna have, because back by your gifted potion crafter, I'm gonna have both of you two roll me an Arcana check.
Oh. 15?
15?
Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
11.
11, 15. Magpie, it doesn't sound like a potion so much. He's gotten it wrong. This definitely sounds like some sort of spellcrafting components, but it doesn't sound like a potion that you've heard of before.
I don't think that was for a potion.
What else could it have been for?
Some other kind of spell. Other components.
I mean, they paid up front, so I'm not gonna ask questions about it.
Would I know, like, what, like, if any of those ingredients stand out as, like, having a specific effect?
Not with a 15.
Okay.
You can make assumptions, though.
Okay.
I'm sure, so. Is there anything else I can help you with? I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah, they've
Did they say anything while they were here? Anything?
done
at
a
all?
lot. The
Any bits?
halfling didn't say anything, but the younger girl, she just kind of made pleasantries. She said hello, and she's polite, and
The halfling didn't say anything.
no, she was quiet. She was very quiet.
Did she look alright? Is there anything wrong with her?
She looks like she might not have gotten much sleep lately, but I mean, other than that, she seemed fine.
Alright.
She just seemed like she was preoccupied, I guess. She kept looking off. I didn't think much of it.
Do you know which direction they went? I know it wasn't maybe of particular interest to you, but did you happen to see where they went?
I don't see, after you leave, there's one exit, so
I suppose.
I mostly just keep down here. Sorry.
Well, that's alright.
What are you looking for? Are they in trouble? I mean,
Yes.
they seem fine. Are you sure? Like, what's the problem?
They're friends of ours. We
Okay, well maybe just if you tell me what's going on, maybe I can keep an eye on them if I see them again.
They've been missing for 2 years.
But they were just here. What do you mean?
Missing to us, but maybe not missing to somebody else.
They haven't come home.
Have you ever seen them before this?
Yeah, a couple times. Look, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but they seem fine. Are you sure they just didn't?
Do we seem like we're not sure?
On him
Sure.
For sure.
18.
18. What are you trying to insight?
I want to
specifically?
know, like, he seems to be, like, overly, like, trying to reassure us.
Sure.
Or, like, steer us in a direction. And I'm just wondering if he's, like, pushing because he's nervous and he knows something that he's not telling us.
Yeah, there is. There is definitely. It's a layered sort of, because you've spoken to him a lot, so there's a layered sort of concern that he has. Part of it is that he seems like he's trying not to be insensitive, but like to him, he honestly does think it's like not a big deal that they're by themselves because they really have seemed fine every single time they've come by. So he thinks like there's a little bit of like, I don't want to hurt you guys' feelings, but maybe you're overreacting sort of thing going on. But in addition to that, it seems like he was definitely skirting around sort of how they picked stuff up. Like, you're not used to special orders really being a thing that gets referred to. So that he seems more like a little hush-hush about.
Not like aggressively, but I'm just going to like step forward and be like, Barnaby.
Jameson.
Are you sure there's nothing else you can tell us about their order, about how they came by, how they got in contact with you to begin with?
I mean, what do you want to know? It's pretty straightforward if you ask me. You can roll me a persuasion check if you want, or an intimidation if you're trying to freak him out, but...
They're both straight rolls. 3. I'm not trying to freak him out. No,
Okay.
I'm coming at it from more of like a friendly standpoint.
He seems like he's being as standoffish about it as he was before, but you guys do start to pick up on this, that he's sort of like, oh, like, I don't know what you mean. Like, you're starting to pick up on the fact that, like, Jameson is prying a little bit more. Like, there might be more to it, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Please.
They came, they ordered a bunch of stuff, and they left.
There's something you're not telling me.
What makes you say that? I've always been honest with you. What do you mean?
Barnaby.
Is anybody trying to help the situation?
Well, you said they had a special order. Does that mean you didn't have what they got in stock?
Yeah, I had to find it through some less than desirable means, I guess you could say.
Less than desirable.
But
It's just hard to come by. We don't sell it normally. Granted, we sell a lot of stuff normally because we know who our clientele is. You all need very, very
So-
strange things.
you had to go out of your way to get this stuff.
I didn't specifically, but yes.
So why would you go out of your way for a little girl and a halfling?
They paid 3 times the amount.
What did they
You didn't think it was suspicious that a 14-year-old girl and a
Look,
halfling
I
had
can't
so
always
much money?
afford to ask questions like that.
What was it that they ordered?
They ordered some illegals. I mean, it was stuff that, and like, it basically, you guys are familiar to the point of like, there's certain things used in like potion crafting specifically, this would be your into it essentially. It would be like there are certain things that you just don't like. You don't really mess with. Like, you can use certain things in potions that would make potions stronger or make spells stronger, but it's like they would be procured by, like, having to kill somebody or, like, you know, just really, like, morally not okay things.
What'd they get?
I mean, they probably got, like,
What's in the box?
baby's bones and stuff like
Oh.
that. I mean, they probably got,
Baby
like, very not okay
bones.
stuff. But yeah, he gives you a menagerie of different things. Like, he seems kind of ashamed as he does it, too. Like, he tells you
that's why I
there's...
didn't want to talk about it.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that was in the order that definitely, like, some of you were, like, very off-put by it.
Okay. All right.
I didn't want to, but they seemed fine, and I couldn't really afford to ask questions at the time, so... You know, I got people to keep in business here. I can't always have the luxury of picking my clients.
Is there anybody that's come in with them before? Or has it always just been them?
It's just been them.
Jameson looks disappointed in his friend.
No.
He just shakes his head and turns around.
Well, what do we do with the... Now, what do we do now? We know they bought weird stuff. Really disgusting stuff.
Well, it must be for some sort of hag thing.
What other questions do you want to ask before we go back to the fortune teller?
I don't know.
Well, this way we can ask what they're doing, because they're making something.
And we do know that they're trying to travel to another plane of existence. We just don't know which one.
And the recruiting.
Could we ask him about hags? Like if he's seen any?
He would. I mean, you can certainly ask. I don't think he has, though.
Have you seen any hags?
If Barnaby has ever come into contact with a hag?
You can ask him, certainly.
Barnaby, since you have such a wide array of reach to be able to get interesting items, have you ever come across someone like a hag
Oh, yeah.
to sell to?
To sell to, I won't. But, yeah, I've had a few run-ins with them.
Well, unfortunately, I think you kind of have.
What do you mean?
We told you they were missing, right?
Yeah.
They were taken by a hag.
They may be fulfilling orders for someone else.
He gives a very long, exasperated sigh. Like, he definitely is, like, sort of tail between the legs, and you just hear him mutter, like, a string of curses, and then he's like, you gotta be kidding me.
No.
Look, you didn't know. And
You've got to make your home as well. So,
Yeah, it doesn't help me much if they're getting away with stuff, though. I mean...
Maybe hold off on the illegals.
At least for now.
Look, you've bought illegals from me before, let's be real.
Oh.
What?
Jameson just shrugs and tries to look innocent.
Sometimes
Badly.
it's not all bad. But...
When was the last time you came across someone, or is there anybody in particular that seems like a leader or feels that way?
I mean, there's stories he probably knows better than I do, but about what's running amok out there, I mostly just keep it down here, so...
Jameson blaze all day. Thanks, Yanni.
Jameson what?
Blaze all day.
Jameson blaze all day.
Good job.
Yeah. As far as I know, just to like make sure I'm like the word on the street, because since I've been searching for this hag for a while, is like this is top dog hag. Like I've never
Yes.
gotten any wind of any other
Correct.
anything above
Correct.
midwife hag.
Correct.
Okay.
She's the most dangerous one you've heard of, essentially.
Yep. So I think I would just have kept insisting that like I've been doing this for a while, haven't heard anything beyond that. So I think she's the one we're trying to find. I think it's a valid question, though. I can't say I haven't considered that as well.
Well, I think we've got some. We can ask some questions now, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
We need to know where they are
and maybe
And where they're going.
and how to get there.
and what they're doing.
We We only get to ask 3.
Well, I won't be the one who asks the questions.
I will say we should be pretty specific and careful with the words we choose to ask the questions.
I agree.
Agreed, sir.
See Barnaby kind of
He
like
can't
chuckles
hear
at
your
that.
thumbs up.
Again,
got
it
it.
just doesn't fit. Like, it's the beard. Like, the beard just, like, it just happens. She's fine with it.
I feel like, okay, so how do you ask where are they and how do we get there in one question? Is that like, how do we get to them? How do we find them? How do we...
Could we say are we planning on going back towards the altar now, so we're like discussing this as we walk back? Or The DM would recommend that you probably do for the
Okay.
sake of time. So
Let's
I think
walk
you guys
and
have
talk.
plenty, so Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll walk and talk just so that's happening. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Okay. Barnaby, like, he's still very sad, but he sort of, like, wishes you luck. And he actually, like, pulls you aside for just a second. He's like, keep an eye on him, okay? Like, just, not as, like, I'd be suspicious of him sort of thing, but just, like, he's, like, look out for him, essentially.
Yeah, make sure he's getting his fruits and veggies.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta eat those carrots.
Oh, no!
The carrots.
Wow.
Kindred spirits.
Wow.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Carrots all session.
So we're walking, but we have to go back to the fortune teller
Yes.
who will then point us towards the altar. Okay.
Yes. So what are we asking?
They
They need to be specific,
Mm-hmm.
and we only get 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, what are they doing? It's important, but it's probably less
Not the
important
most
than
important.
just getting to them and
Right.
finding them. Because we'll find out what they're doing when we get there.
It's true.
That's true.
Right.
So
Shelby's face.
we need to know.
We also need to make sure that they don't. It's not like a one-word answer.
Yeah.
Make
Right.
We need to know
What are they doing? Stuff.
what. Yeah.
Where
We
are
need
they?
We need to know where they are. We need to know how to get there, and what's our third question?
How to
Well,
stop
what
them.
about this? If we need to ask where they are performing the spell. Like, we don't want to ask where they are because they could be in different places. So if we want to say, or where they are performing.
I'm gonna
Where
say
is
altar.
the midwife head?
Well, the information you've gotten from the acolyte too, from Chauncey, is that he said they were specifically making a pathway.
Yeah,
So if you want to use
to
that
another plane.
verbiage before, yeah.
We don't know which plane they're going.
So
You don't.
would where
Where?
are the 2 ends of the pathway? Like, would that count as 2 questions or 1 question?
It sounds like
That's
one
how you ask
question.
Oh, well, let's see.
Okay.
Where does the pathway
I'm gonna
connect?
write them out. If it sounds like it should have a 2 question marks in it, I will let you know.
But if it sounds like it's a single question but has 2 answers, like
that's you can game the system a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so we need to know what 2 places this pathway connects.
What are the locations of the 2 ends of the pathway?
Yeah.
Something like
Or,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, somebody
What?
write these down, and then I'll take your final answers.
Your final answer.
I like the way Ashes/Kaylin worded it. The what locations does the pathway connect? Like,
yeah, I like that too.
Pathway connection.
Okay.
yeah.
On board.
All right. So that's question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
What's question number 2?
Well, our second option was we wanted to know how.
How do we get there?
Well, we could do that, or like how to destroy them. So, like, are those the 2 that we were
Do
taking?
they have any weaknesses?
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Well, but if we ask, do they have any weaknesses? They could say yes.
Yeah.
No.
What are their
What are the
weaknesses?
weaknesses?
Yeah.
The sense you got from the fortune teller, I can expound upon this a little bit too. It's like he told you that you guys would be getting very informed answers from whatever this is, because it's like it's a big
super
We're just like
ones from the beginning.
kind of a big deal to go in front of this thing. So it's like
Okay.
you're not going to be getting like
So-
just BS answers
Yes.
by any
Yes.
means.
we get like
Yeah.
a Wikipedia page, not just a
So, okay.
yes or
I
no.
think we need to figure out how to get there, because from my check that I got, I know that it's really difficult magic that, like, we couldn't just whip out of nowhere.
Right.
right.
So we need to figure out, once we know where this pathway connects, we need to figure out how to get to it, to the...
Okay. Is it? Because did we? Well, I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was for this, but is it one of those things where we need to find someone who could perform that magic?
That's true. It was someone that kind of knew that, but we don't even know what that pathway is.
Well, that's kind of what I was...
Maybe we should go find someone like that first.
We could. Otherwise, I was gonna say that could maybe be our question: is where is the person who can get us there?
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. Instead of how do we get there?
Yeah.
Who can take us there?
Who can take us there?
That's a good
Unless
question.
they're like, you can take yourselves.
And then
Through
they're
the
like,
magic of friendship.
get on a bicycle.
Yeah, we can do that.
Go over the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think because they did say like teleportation. I mean, because even normal people can't really do teleportation at
Like,
will.
who can
so.
charter / help us charter to get there?
Yeah, who can help us get there is a good question.
Okay.
Because they could literally just tell us like, oh yeah, you need to find a person who could do this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Instead of specifically.
And there might not be any person in the zip code that can do that.
Exactly. All right, so
How to stop them from enacting their plans would be my third one.
What are their weaknesses?
Well, I
I kind of
hesitate,
like that too. I like how you did it.
like, cause I mean, they could be like, yeah, one of them has an allergy, or like,
Yeah.
Like,
Don't bring
asthma.
peanuts
I have
if you
asthma,
know
and I
asthma.
consider that to be a weakness
Yeah.
if I need to run. Like,
if I need
So challenge them to a race.
Okay.
challenge them to a fun race.
I like. How can we
500 meters. Let's
how
go.
can we
right
stop
now.
their plan, or like, how can we
prevent them
from
carrying out their plans
from
or
carrying
whatever.
out this particular plan?
I like those questions.
I
Yeah.
do as well.
Let's go to the beach.
Yeah.
The baby's the altar. All right.
Oh my
so-
god.
give me your 3 questions. I will actually keep them in mind because, like, and just make sure whoever's asking them has like the final wording correct.
Ashley,
Whoever's
you
gonna
wanna
be
do it?
that person.
I haven't been able to finish the third question
Oh,
like
that's
on
fine.
my thing because you guys keep.
Sorry.
Sorry.
How can we keep them from pursuing their?
how can we keep them from pursuing it?
Achieving their goals.
Yeah.
That or like what action?
Achieving this goal, their goal.
I think
Their maniacal goal?
we could just get an answer like kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what I want to avoid. Is like kill them or like
But
take
they said
away
that-
their frog feed.
She said it would be a very informative answer,
Yeah.
probably.
I think that's a clue that we shouldn't spend.
Worry about it.
Yeah,
So
don't worry
much
about it.
time.
Yeah, don't worry about me giving you BS answers.
Okay.
She just says yes.
That'd be
Yes.
such a move for one
Okay.
shot.
Question
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't do it if it was the normal campaign, perhaps, but
Yeah.
we only have X amount of time to do these.
Yeah.
So,
What are the locations of the pathway connection between?
Wherever the Higgs are and
Yeah.
this place.
Yeah, whatever.
Who can help us get there?
Yes.
And then how can we keep them from achieving their goal?
I think those are good.
Yeah.
I think those will set us
You
on the
want me
right
to write
path.
that down?
if you want to write them, yeah, whoever is reading them, obviously, like whoever's asking the
You
questions.
can do it if you want.
I'm saying, do you need it written?
No, I'll grab it from you later.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you guys had your final answers
All right.
before you actually stepped in front of the
Well, let's go find Mr. Lacroix.
Mr. Lacroix.
Mr. Lacroix. So you guys travel back to the fortune teller. You travel back to Francis Lacroix. Francis Lacroix. And he is where he said he'd be.
Good.
This time is flanked by several additional people, though, that give you the stink eye, which you can't see anyway. But they are tense. They are very tense, and Francis actually sort of nods to them. And after he gets a vibe of the room, he welcomes you back, and he sort of nods and he goes,
I'll stand in the back.
Yeah, he gets that you're not gonna come at him immediately, so he kind of nods to the other people in the room, and he's like, "You can leave us, and it's fine. I know what they're here for."
I grin as they leave.
Are you ready?
Ready.
We believe so.
Mm-hmm.
First question.
This isn't the altar. Hold that thought.
Oh, correct. Too excited.
I just need to ask these questions.
Just want to ask
So he asks you all to stand around this like large circular table, and essentially like he asks you to hold hands and sort of like just make a connection between each other.
Wait, before we do this, you don't have one of those things on you, do you?
One of what things?
The eyes.
Oh,
Insight check.
yeah, go for it.
I feel like we're about to like teleport somewhere and I'm very scared.
Taking a port key.
25.
25. He's being honest. He does not.
He's lucky. I would have cut him up.
I want to cut him
I just
up.
want to cut a bitch.
I'm trying to, yeah.
So, he, after you guys establish the connection, he sort of starts
weak
moving
point.
his hand, like very Doctor Strange style, where he sort of starts making these gestures, and in reference to his gestures, the table responds.
Oh, yeah.
The table responds to his gestures, and you can see it start to open up. Pieces of it actually start to move and shift and reshape until you see a very obvious stone stairwell leading down.
Do we get to let go now?
Yeah, he kind of gestures down, and he tells you good luck. And
You're not coming.
no, this is for you to do. I don't want to interrupt it.
Well, all right then.
We're lost.
Let's do it.
Great help.
So you all head down to this. You can see like it feels very cold down here because you're going even deeper under the earth essentially, and you can feel like that shift as you see the stone walls on either side of you in this narrow passageway have sort of like almost like water drippings but encased in glass. Like it's not quite as potent as a waterfall per se, but like several of these sort of tiered, like segmented pieces of glass that have like just water dribbling through them, going to who knows where. But it gives you like a little bit of an eerie sense of comfort. Like you're disconcerted by it, but you're also like it doesn't seem sinister by any means. It seems like you're entering a tranquil space, and you continue forward into a large circular-shaped domed room. It's pretty dim in there, and you see a large horseshoe-shaped sort of ivory slab that's been carved and is resting atop woven and shaped driftwood and like petrified birch and cedar, all these different types of wood, these lighter woods that have been dried out and essentially woven into like a basket shape to mirror this ivory slab on top of it. And within the central circle of this horseshoe, you see a myriad of, up on a pedestal, you see a myriad of bowls and crystals and trinkets and oddities, like very, very purposefully placed. Some of them you can see very traditional, like crow's feet and raven's feathers and the eye of some poor unfortunate creature encased in a jar, beads, coins, candles. There's all myriad of different things, and you can tell, you get the distinct impression that these have all been put there by different people. So
It's like sacrifices.
exactly, it's an offering table too.
Well,
So
there's an altar.
it is an altar. So as you guys prepare to ask your questions, I would ask that you give something to the altar.
Oh boy.
Cram, get up there.
What? No.
I'm kidding! Oh, I'm kidding. It's a joke, right, Cram? It's funny.
Haha.
He thought that was hilarious.
What am I gonna give?
Yeah. Do whatever you want. How potent do you want your questions to be answered? I guess. Get creative with this. What are you looking for? What do you want to
Yeah,
find?
but I don't know what like Ash's house that you can actually give.
Well,
we're
tell me
both
what you
already
want to
busy
give, and I'll let you know
appendages.
if you
Do we
have it.
to
I mean,
give
if
up more.
Can I examine the bowls? Are there like liquids or anything?
yeah, some of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one's water, one looks like wine. I mean, they're like different. There's not a lot of bowls filled with liquid by any means. There's one filled with sand. I mean, it's a lot of different earthy type offerings in that sense.
I'm trying to think of a deity that was like patron of like farmers and like working people.
Like a patron of the land.
Yeah, I can't remember any like Forgotten Realms names off the top of my head.
Me either, but we'll say, you know.
Shantae was agriculture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Shantae, there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll have a holy symbol of Shantae.
Okay.
That was not so much as his wife's. And he like held on to.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
procure this symbol. It looks like it's like a very it's a very sturdy like iron.
Yeah.
It's almost like a very hefty like horseshoe type material.
Yeah.
And it's held onto it. It's definitely had its wear and tear, but you've kept good care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jameson is no particular like I don't know. He's not a follower per se, at least not anymore, but he would like kind of kiss it very reverently and whisper very much under his breath, which people can roll if they want to hear what he says. So
Magpie always.
14.
What is this? Perception? 12.
Magpie, you do get bits and pieces of it. Jaldur, you do not.
and he just kind of sadly says like, "I'm so close, my dear. It's all right," and then like puts it on the altar.
Depression. Kaylin.
Sorry.
I'm gonna step up to one of the bowls and I'm just gonna slice my hand open.
Ooh.
And let it bleed into the bowl.
Interesting. Okay.
So not a bad idea.
Yeah, I like that.
My turn? I imagine at some point Molly would have given Magpie like a trinket or like something shiny.
Totally.
Let's just say it's like a little plain pinky finger ring.
It's like a silver band sort of thing.
And I imagine that like in these last 2 years especially, like it was a symbol of friendship.
Friendship bracelet.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Macrame.
In these last years, like she's kind of held onto it for comfort in her search and like going out every day and, you know, making marks on trees and like trying to make sure that the path is clear for her to get home. You know, she'd hold on to it in the cold winter storms and things like that, just hoping she'd come home, and found it as a source of comfort. And she's just gonna take it off and put it on the altar.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I feel like Ashes probably maybe has like a scarf or something that Molly had knitted him, so he keeps it in his bag, and so I think he'll fish that out and you'll put that up there.
That's sweet.
That's
Cute. So I pull out a couple of knitting needles that are like embellished, kind of like I'm embellished.
Yeah.
Like fancy.
They were like custom
made. But
For
I actually
one-handed knitting?
No, I made them for Molly, and I had hoped to someday give them to her.
Everyone's like,
and I lay them down.
No. Good. I can't. Too much.
Must say it.
All right. Well, now that you guys have made your offerings, you feel this very present sort of like hum in the room, and you guys know this to be sort of like like an awakening of a magical essence, like a residue. It's not anything audible that you can hear. It's sort of just a sense. Being that you guys are in a coven, you don't distinctly get this sense, but you know something is different, something is off about the room. The room has shifted in some strange way that you don't understand. Go ahead and ask your 3 questions. All answers will come to you after all 3 are asked.
Oh.
Okay.
So you have to commit. You can't like expound upon one.
Exactly.
Now I'm like panicked.
No.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you, boo.
Don't trust that DM. She's running a hag too.
No.
Don't forget that.
She's a hag.
Those eyes, though. Our first question. What are the locations of the pathway connecting us to where the hags are? Second question. Who can help us get there, where they are? 3, our third question. How can we keep them from achieving their goal?
And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh.
One more break. It's okay. One more quick, 10-15 minute break. I think it's 4:30, so that works out very well. I think we'll come back at in about 15 minutes, guys, and then we'll get the answers to your question.
Yeah.
And then we will kick off the... Essentially, we're getting into some endgame stuff, some end of session stuff. So we'll kick that off as soon as we come back. So go use the restroom, go grab another drinky, and we will see you guys momentarily.
Yeah.
Finals.
Yeah. Pick back. Thanks for sticking around.
Yay!